What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Quick 60. Just want to give you a quick update on Urban Meyer getting fired from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Didn't even complete his first full season in the NFL, which is really disappointing. I think his contract was somewhere around $60 million. So the Jaguars, as of right now, until I hear otherwise, they're supposed to still pay out Urban Meyer's $60 million contract. I think it was around 5 years, about $12 million a year or something like that. So, it's really disappointing, and it's hard to come from the college games to the professional games. I'll go down a list here in a second, but you got to recruit in college. You can talk to the kids a certain way. When you get to the NFL, some of those guys are older than you as a head coach, so you really have to change your demeanor and behavior when you get to the NFL. The club situation, it came out that he, kicked the kicker back in August as well. He was demeaning to his coaches. In a report the other day, I think a couple of days ago, it said that, he told his coaching staff that they effing suck and that his Bowling Green coaches were better than him, better than their coaches right now. And so, when you have that stuff, he didn't have the trust of the players, he didn't have the trust of his coaching staff, and obviously he didn't have the trust of the owner. So, that's big situations right there. So I'm going to go through the list of uh, coaches that were in college and then they went to the NFL. Some of them went back to college. Let me know what you think if you would want a college coach to come to the NFL to coach your favorite team. So first, obviously, was Pete Carroll. He's first on my list. He's doing a good job with the Seahawks overall. Up and down years, but he did win a Super Bowl. Went to another Super Bowl. He coached at USC as well. Did some good things at USC. So he was a success. You got Tom Coughlin from Boston College. He was successful as well with the Giants. I think he won 3 NFC East titles, division titles, a couple of AFC championships, and a Super Bowl, of course, as well. Then you got Butch Davis. He was from Miami, and then he went to the Browns. He wasn't successful at all. Dennis Green from Northwestern and Stanford. Then he came over, I think, with Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss in Minnesota, and he was pretty successful in Minnesota. I would say he was a successful coach from college to the NFL. Lou Holtz, great coach from, obviously people remember him coaching Notre Dame, and he's still an analyst to this day. And he was with the Jets. He was kind of like Urban Meyer. I think he went 3-10. He didn't even finish out the first year in the professional ranks. Then you got Jimmy Johnson from Miami. Obviously, he went to the Cowboys, won multiple Super Bowls with the Cowboys. So doing that, his first season though, he was 1-15. So he wasn't very successful that first season, but he turned it around. Then you got John McKay. He was from USC. Another, kind of like Pete Carroll, but he went to Tampa and wasn't successful at all. That was those years. He lost 26 straight games in a row, and then he got fired. So obviously that didn't help. And then, obviously there's more, but I'm just highlighting some key coaches. Nick Saban also, some people forget that he tried out the NFL for a couple years, I think in the 90s, and he was 15-17, I think. So he had a losing record. Wasn't terrible, but he tried it for a couple years, 2 years, I think, and then went back to the college football ranks, and that's probably where he belongs. Obviously, one of the best to do it. Then you got Steve Spurrier. He went from Florida State, and then he ended up going to the Redskins. I would say he had a somewhat successful season career with the Redskins. Obviously the Redskins haven't ever been premier, but in my opinion, but he did a pretty good job. And then obviously Bill Walsh, he was with Cincinnati. Uh, and then he went to the 49ers. Obviously, everybody knows about Bill Walsh, winning 3 Super Bowls. So let me know what you think as far as if you'd want, someone to take a chance on, Chip Kelly type deal. He went back to UCLA, obviously, right now, but or you'd want to just stick with a new head coach that's been a coordinator and never been a head coach before in the NFL, or would you rather go to a college coach and then bring them up to the NFL? So, on my list, it's kind of 50-50. It's kind of hard to pick a good head coach, almost like a quarterback, to be honest. All right, guys, I'll be back on later for some game predictions for this week. Peace.